The Silent 6 Months. A story of disappearing to become unstoppable. The world will not remember who you were. It will only remember who you became. Part 1. The Fall. Chicago, Illinois. The alarm went off at 6:47 a.m. Aryan Mehra hadn't slept. He lay staring at the cracked ceiling of his South Side studio apartment, surrounded by unpaid bills, cold leftover Chinese food, and the glow of yet another rejection email on his laptop screen. We have decided to move forward with other candidates. Number 37. He was 26 years old, the son of Suresh and Meena Mehra, immigrants who had arrived in America with $40 in an envelope and a will that could move mountains. His father had worked at a convenience store for 11 years to open his own grocery on Devon Avenue. His mother had cleaned office buildings at midnight while raising 2 boys during the day. They had given Aryan everything: their youth, their sleep, their dreams. And what had he done with it? He had a computer science degree, a broken bed frame he hadn't bothered to fix, and 37 rejection emails. He scrolled Instagram for an hour, then YouTube, then TikTok. He watched people living their best lives, traveling, succeeding, laughing, and felt a slow, corrosive emptiness he had no name for. Then his phone rang. Not his mother, not his friend Derek. His father. Suresh Mehra never called on Tuesdays. "Papa?" Aryan sat up immediately. A long pause. "I had a small heart episode 2 days ago." His father's voice was quieter than Aryan remembered. Older. "The doctors say I need to rest. Scale back at the store." Aryan felt the floor tilt. "Why didn't you call me?" "Because you have your own problems," his father said, without blame. After the call, Aryan stood in front of his bathroom mirror for a long time. Dark circles, unshaved jaw, eyes that looked tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. He asked the face in the mirror one question: "What are you doing with everything they gave you?" Part 2. The Decision. That night, Aryan did not scroll. He sat at his kitchen table with a yellow legal pad and wrote for 4 hours. He wrote his failures, his wasted hours, his excuses. Then he wrote what he actually wanted, not what he was supposed to want. At the top of the page, in capital letters, underlined 3 times, "For the next 6 months, I disappear." He wrote the rules beneath it. No social media. Delete every app. No exceptions. Wake at 5:30 a.m. Sleep by 10:30 p.m. every day. Build the app. He had an idea. ClearPath Health, a platform to help immigrant families navigate the American healthcare system. It had lived in his head for a year. Time to build it. He laced up his shoes and ran in the dark. 2 miles. Ugly, burning, gasping miles. He slowed to a shuffle somewhere in the middle. But he did not stop. He came home, showered, made coffee, and opened a new project folder on his laptop. He typed the name, ClearPath Health. It was clunky. The code was rusty. He spent 45 minutes stuck on something that should have taken 10. But he built something. For the first time in months, he was building instead of just dreaming about building. He found 2 freelance gigs, a restaurant website, a data script that brought in $800, enough to breathe. He meal prepped rice and dal from his mother's recipe. He went to the public library and checked out 3 books. He read until his eyes burned. At 10 p.m., he was in bed. He pulled the yellow legal pad from under his mattress and drew a small check mark. Day 1. Then he slept. The weeks moved like water, slow, then faster. He ran farther each week. The app grew. He applied for jobs strategically now. 25 companies he had actually researched. 1 or 2 applications a day. Real cover letters with real thought behind them. But week 3 delivered the first crisis. An email from his landlord. Past due on rent. Eviction in 10 days if not paid. He called Kowalski, his tired, decent landlord, and asked for 2 weeks, honestly, without excuses. Kowalski gave them to him. Aryan took every freelance job he could find, grinding through grunt work below his skill level, and made $1,400 in 2 weeks. He paid the rent. Then he did something harder. He called his parents on Sunday and told them the truth. His mother cried. His father was quiet for a long time. Then his father said in Hindi, "The fact that you are telling me this means you have already begun to change. Keep going. Don't stop." Aryan had to put the phone down for a moment. "I won't stop, Papa. I promise." Month 2 brought loneliness like a fog. Friday nights, when the whole city seemed to be heading somewhere, and he was heading to his kitchen table. Evenings, when the voice in his head whispered, "What's the point? You're still nobody. Nothing has changed." He had taped one sentence above his desk. "The results are building in the dark. Trust the process." He would read it and go back to work. Part 4. The breaking point. Month 4. The lowest day. He had made it to a third-round interview at Meridian Health Solutions, the furthest he had gone in months. He had prepared for 2 weeks. He had walked in genuinely confident for the first time. He did not get the job. He sat at the kitchen table, staring at the rejection email. 4 months of sacrifice. 4 months of 5:30 a.m. mornings, and cheap food, and solitude, and building, and still nothing. Maybe I should stop. Maybe this isn't working. He let the thoughts say what they needed to say. He did not run from them. He just sat with them, the disappointment, the doubt, the exhaustion, and let them be real. Then he picked up the legal pad. 112 check marks. 112 mornings chosen over sleeping in. 112 evenings of building over scrolling. He wrote, "Day 113. I did not get the job. I am going to keep going." Then he laced up his shoes. He ran 7 miles that night, the longest he had ever run, in the February cold, in the dark. Somewhere around mile 4, tears froze on his face. He didn't know when they had started. He didn't try to stop them. He ran all 7 miles. He came home. He coded for 3 hours. 2 weeks later, his building was sold. New owners, 60 days to vacate. He called his college friend Priya, who didn't hesitate for even 1 second. "You can have the guest room," she said. "When do you need to be out?" He packed 3 bags. He moved. He found a $6 card table at a thrift store and set up his laptop. He taped the legal pad to the new wall. He kept going. Part 5, the breakthrough. Month 5, Aryan made a decision. He stopped waiting for a company to believe in him and decided to show his work to the people it was actually built for. He printed 30 flyers from the library printer and went to Devon Avenue, his father's street, the Indian-Pakistani corridor on Chicago's north side, and stood outside a grocery store and talked to people. He was terrified. This was harder than any interview. An elderly Gujarati man tried the app slowly, reading each screen. Then he looked up and said, in Gujarati, "This would have helped my wife last year."